Man, good morning. First of all, I'm going to apologize because I know I just dropped a video yesterday and I don't want to overload people with videos and things like that. That's not what I want to do. But man, something hit me on this morning while I was getting ready for work. And you know what? I don't even shout. But boy, it almost shouted me. Like the old folks used to say, it almost shouted me. All right. So, okay, here we go. So, you know, one of the things that me and my wife, we talked about what we want to do for 2025 was, you know, financial overflow, get out of debt, and just have an abundance, you know, let our cup overflow, you know, and overcome some of the financial challenges that has faced us in the past. So that way we can go ahead and get ahead of the game. And so we've been really focusing and putting things in place and putting things in measures to make that happen. So just like any other New Year's resolution, just like anybody else, you know, sometimes it starts out not the way that you want to. Okay. I'm just going to be real, going to be honest. Sometimes it just happens and you be like, man, golly, it's not happening like the way you want to. So forget about it, you know, or let's give up or something. Well, ours hadn't really come about like we wanted to. So some things happened and we like, man, what's going on? We had a conversation last night. We were like, man, what's going on? Okay. You know, and we started getting frustrated and started getting, you know, a little bit irritated and aggravated the way that things were going right now. So I'm getting ready this morning and in the restroom getting ready or whatever. And so the Lord sit up there and he told me, he said, you know, you and your wife, y'all get on this podcast and you talk about new level, next level. You talking about trusting God and having that crazy faith and that baby faith and that maybe faith, trusting me in all things. You got on there last Sunday talking about how Abraham trusted God so much that when he got ready to sacrifice Isaac, at the last second, he sent a ram in the bush to send it in his favor. Then you also talked about how Peter walked on water, and when Peter was walking on water, at the last second, when Peter started to sink, at the last second, he called on the name of Jesus. He called out to God, and God saved him. So you're sitting up here, you're talking about all these things. You and your wife talk about all these things. So now once things are not going your way, you want to get aggravated and get mad. So then the Lord asked me, he told me, he said, are y'all a pretender or you a contender? I said, whoa. He said, are you and your wife pretenders or are y'all contenders? Do y'all get on this podcast and y'all pretend to have this crazy faith, talk about this crazy faith, share this crazy faith? See, a lot of preachers and ministers, they won't say things like this, okay? But I'm just as real as it gets. The Lord sat up there and told me, he said, are you a pretender or a contender? He said, are you going to trust me even when you can't trace me? He said, are you going to sit up there and worry about some things, or are you going to sit up there and have faith because he is worthy, because I am worthy? He said, man, I take care of the lilies in the fields and the birds in the air. He said, what makes you think I won't take care of you and your household? The Lord sat up there and told me and sat up there and said he would provide all my needs according to his riches and glory. He said, so why are you worried about the things that you see right now, but you don't actually see the things that I'm working behind the veil, behind closed doors on your behalf? He said, so the Lord told me, he said, you got to trust me. That same thing that you get on week after week talking about that crazy faith, it's time for you to exercise it. So the word for you and for me and for my household is, it may not be going the way you want it to go right now, but guess what? It's coming. It's coming. Because late in the midnight hour, God is going to turn it around. He might not come when you want him to, but he's always on time. Just like with Paul and Silas, and I'm going back to the old Baptist preachers. He told Paul, your name begins with P, so you start praying. Told Silas, your name starts with S, so you start singing praises. And so with the praying and with the praising, guess what? God came through and got him out of captivity. Man, I'm here to tell you, hold on to your faith. Hold on. Hold on and watch what God is going to do on your behalf. Man, I had to share that with y'all this morning. man, it set me on fire. It shouted me. I mean, I shouted internally because I was in the restroom. My wife was in there asleep, so I didn't want to wake her up. But it shouted me. It shouted me. It lit a fire up under me, and I would trust in the Lord with all that understanding. Everything that I have, that's called craziness, that crazy faith. Hey, man, this has been 5 minutes and 20 seconds of me just talking, but I hope and I pray that I touch somebody in some way, shape, fashion, or form, because guess what? I will not let a rock cry out in my place. Man, may God bless y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous day.